Hello, my fourth grade friends. Mrs. Smith here. Today we're doing Unit 2, Lesson 12, which is on page 73 of your book. We will also be using your math board today, so go ahead and grab that if you don't have it in front of you right now. And then let's just jump into it. So earlier this year, we have been using the area model to visualize multiplication problems. And so far what we've practiced looks kind of like this, and we'll have the single digit factor over here, so let's say like 3, and then we'll break our double digit into tens and ones. So we'll do like 25, right? And then we'll distribute our 3 to our 20 and distribute our 3 to our 5. So 3 times 20, well, 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 times 2 tens is 6 tens, or 60. And then 3 times 5 is 15. And then we add it up. So 60 plus 15 equals 75. This should look familiar to you. We're going to continue with that, but instead of just having a single digit factor on that side, we're going to have 2 double digits. And that, like, nothing is totally crazy about this, but it's just a little bit bigger. So if we had 20 and 5, and then over here we had 13, we would have our tens multiply against each other or with each other. So 20 times 10 is 200. Then we would have our 10 go to this ones over here. So 10 times 5 is 50. Then we would go from our ones up to our tens over here. So 3 times 20 is 60, and then we would have our ones against our ones in the smallest box, 15. And then we would add all the partial products up, making sure we don't skip anything. And then we have our big, gigantic double digit multiplication. So this is where we're about to head, which is just like one row thicker than what we've done before, but it looks a little bit extra complicated in this picture because they want you to really understand we're including all parts of the number. So let's take a look. It says here, compare models. A coin collecting book holds 24 coins on a page. There are 37 pages in the book. How many coins can the book hold? These models below also show the solution to 24 times 37. So you'll recognize here at the top, we have our 30 here and our 7 there, and that's the 37 part. Over here, we have our 20 right here and our 4 right there. So then over in this big chunk right here, this is our 30 times our 20. And we can count our hundreds because they put them in boxes of 10 by 10. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. And if you think about it, 2 times 3 is 6, and then the 10 and the 10, 100. So 6 times 100 is 600. Here we have our 20 times our 7, right? So we have, we'll count by tens here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. So right here, our 20 times 7 is 2 times 7, so 14 times 10 more, 140. Down here, we're doing our 30 times our 4. So we have our 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, which if you think about it, right? 3 times 4 is 12. So 4 times 3 tens is 12 tens, 120. And then here we have our 4 times our 7, which you've probably memorized, is 28. Okay, so here's the big drawn out version. Here's the quicker sketch where we put those answers inside these boxes. And then here is where it's all added up, right, to get our partial products. So it says describe how each model shows 600s, 14 tens, 12 tens, and 28 ones. I mean, we've talked about it already. They each show it in their own way, right? They have this larger picture, this simpler picture, or the partial products. So we'll just write all partial products are shown. And that's important. Whatever method you're doing, you want to make sure you're showing all your partial products. Okay, so here we have all these little parts sort of written out there for us. So we have, just like we talked about before, our 20 times our 30 could be thought of as 2 times 10 times 3 times 10. And then because of that commutative property, we can scooch these around so they're a little more approachable. So then we have 2 times 3, which is 6. And then 10 times 10 is 100, right? So 6 times 100 is 600. Over here, 20 times 7 is 2 times 10 times 7 times 1. So we'll just deal with the 2 and the 7 first, and that's 14. The 10 times 1 is just 10, so then we have 14 tens, also known as 140. Over here, we have our 4 times 30, so we have our 4 times 1 times 3 times 10. We'll deal with that 4 and that 3, and that's 12, and then that 1 times 10 is just 10. So then we have 12 tens, also known as 120. And then over here, we're just dealing with our 1, so 4 times 1 times 7 times 1. 4 times 7 is 28, and then 1 times 1 is just 1, right? So then our answer there is 28. So explain how the dot or the underlined parts in exercise 2 through 5 are shown in the dot drawing. So the underlined parts are the place value, right? So if we look back here, that 10 times 10, each of those underlined parts show how big the rectangle should be. So each of the underlined parts show the place value. Okay, and now we'll add up those partial products. We can do it right here because they aligned it up already. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 is also 8. And then 6 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. How fun. 888. Cool. All right, now we're going to try what we just did on our own math board. So you could absolutely use the dots. I think we will do it just for one of them, but it's kind of laborious, which means a lot of work to like count out all the dots. Later, we're gonna try just doing like a quick sketch version. Okay, so 30, 10, 20, make sure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10, 20, 30, and then 50. So 10, 20, 30. Oh yeah, I should do the 50 over here because it'll fit better. 40, 50. So there's our 50. And then we'll do 8 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the 6 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you can see what I mean when I said laborious. So here's our 30, here's our 6. There's our 50, and then there is our 8. Okay. Kind of hard on the eyes, I think. Maybe it's just because I have my light coming down onto it. Okay. And then we have over here. Oh, I forgot this whole chunk. Whoops. And then over here. Okay. You can see why people don't typically draw one of these out every single time. It is kind of a lot. Whew. Okay, but we did it. So here we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones, right? So our tens place times our tens place gives us this many hundreds. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 hundreds. So 15 times 100. So that's 15 hundreds. Oops, you can't see that. 15 hundreds right there. And you could also have thought that's the 3 times 10 times 5 times 10. 3 times 5 is the 15. And the 10 times 10 is the 100, right? So the 30 times the 50 is the 1500. Then over here, we have our 30 times our 8. So there are, let's do that. 30 times 8. So 3 times 8 is what? 24 times 10, because we're talking about 3 tens, not just 3 ones. So that's 240. Over here, we're going to do our 6 times 50. And I'm going to do 6 times 5 and then times that by 10, right? So 6 times 5 is 30. 30 tens is 300. And then last but not least, we have our 6 times 8, which is this part right here. And that should be the smallest, right? Because that represents the smallest amount of space taken up. and that is only 48. Okay, so let's go ahead and add all that up. 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, 4, 0, 4, so that's 8. 5 plus 2 plus 3, that's 10. 1 plus 1 is 2,000. So 2,088. So let's write that down on our paper. $2,088. And now I'm going to erase this, and we're going to do the quicker sketch version on the back of this math board. Okay. Should we erase that up? Oh, it's a little bit weird looking. Okay, whatever. Here we go. What's the next one? 28 times 42. If you're feeling confident, you go ahead and try to draw that rectangle for us. If you're not, though, that's okay. We'll do this together. Okay, boop, like that. So 28, 42. We'll do our 28 and our 42. So 2 times 4. So 20 times 40 equals 2 times 10 times 4 times 10. So then 2 times 4 times 100. 8 times 100 is 800, right? Then we'll do our 2 times 20. So then it's just 2 times 2, which is 4, times 10, 40, right? Okay. Then we'll do our 8 times 40. So 8 times 40 is 8 times 4 times 10. 8 times 4 is 32 times 10, 320. 32 tens, right? So that's 320. And then we'll do our 8 times 2, which is 16. And then we just add all that up. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6, 6. 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, so 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then 8 plus 3 is 1,100. So 1,176. Oops. Okay. All right, erase that. Go ahead and draw your rectangle, your area model. See if you can set it up. I'll do 60 plus 3, 20 plus 7. All right. 60 times 20, 6 times 2 times 100. 1,200. 20 times 3, 60, because 2 times 3 is 6 times 10, 60. 6 times 7 is 42, times 10 more is 420, and then 3 times 7 is 21. So we add those up. 420, 60, 21, 1, new 10. Oh, that's not 9. Silly me. That's 7. So 1,701. All right. And then, if you're feeling up to it, I would love for you to try these 3 before I do them. But if you want to stay with me, you can stay with me. Aren't you so glad, though, that we don't have to draw out that gigantic thing? Kind of a task. Okay, so 50 plus 7, 20 plus 6 for this one. 26 times 57. Now sometimes you'll see that written like this. 57 times 20. And let's do it in the way that your parents are probably most comfortable, and we'll just match it up with this. So 6 times 7 is 42. 42. 6 times 5 tens, 6 times 50 is 30 plus 4, so 340. 300. And then 20 times 7 is 140. And then 20 times 50 is 1,000, or 10 hundreds, 1,000, yeah. So add that 1 in there from earlier. So in this row, we have our 1,000 and 140. In this row, we have our 300 and our 42, and we'll add that up. Okay. So just to prove to you, what your parents know is not wrong or different. It just looks a little different. Okay, we got 2 more. Okay. 86, 35. So 3 times 8 is 24. We're gonna have 100 because it's times 100. 30 times 6 is 180. 5 times 8 is 40, so 40 tens, 400. And then 5 times 6 is 30. Add those up. $3,010. Okay, final one. Go ahead and, even if you haven't done one without me before, go ahead and give this one a try. Three times 6 is 18, so 1,800. 6 times 8, 42, but it's tens, so 420. 3 times 5 is 15, so 5 times 3 tens is 150. And 5 times 8 is 40. 1,800, 420, 150, 40. 0, 11, 14, 2,410. Okie dokie. So next time we're gonna keep talking about these methods, so don't stress if that was a lot. Make sure you are practicing your math facts. That will make everything so much easier if you build that into part of your routine. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me. See if you have an assignment, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.